What's up, Devils? J-Dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. Before we get to the questions, we got 2 on order slips for the next video online. But I want to show these personal J-Dawg fucking pickups of stuff that HH fucking put out. The ones that fucking J-Dawg approved, goddammits. Finally just came in. You know I've been talking about it forever. And it knocks out also, too. What was the best fucking album from 2022? In my goddamn book, it's right fucking here. LP's finally in. We did the cassettes. They came out last year. Plant turnaround times of vinyl suck shit, but they came in just a few days ago. By the time you're watching this and shit, they're online and you can order them now. So check it the fuck out. But so it was Severed Records that did the CD, which I had to go on fucking online and buy it my goddamn self for myself because I guess he doesn't reply to emails for us. Why the fuck you don't? Who knows? For a trade because I wanted them released in the distro. So I've been jamming the CD all throughout last year, and it's definitely, I would have to say that my favorite release of 2020-22 is the second album by the band Pharmacist. There's a black vinyl version. There's 2 different color vinyl versions. I'm not sitting here busting out all the. This is just my personal copy. I just picked up one of each color. This is like the. It's called beer vinyl, which I think is kind of a lame fucking title for it, but that's just what the plant calls it. And then it comes with a printer sleeve, which, to be completely honest with you, I don't know why the printer sleeves are just. I mean, that's bands, what they want. I guess kind of like just keep it simplified. Personally, if it was up to me, but I wasn't asking. I don't think that they gave a shit what my fucking opinion would be. Have lyrics and shit like that, and possible band photos if the guys fit the bill. The only photos I've ever seen of the band members was on Metal Archives. There's the guy from Ukraine, I guess, which is kind of weird. They're considered like a Japanese band, but the one main guy, he does guitar, vocals. He might even do bass. He's a Ukrainian guy, but he moved to Japan, maybe? Fill me in on whatever the fucking details are. Like, where's that guy officially fucking living? So I've seen a photo of him, just whatever's on Metal Archives. And then I believe the drummer's Japanese. And actually, to be honest with you, I don't even know if there's a photo of him on Metal Archives. So, but if he's like that fucking epidectomony fucking goddamn sideways wearing fucking hat canoe, then do it exactly. Do what Pharmacist doing. Don't play shows and don't fucking put don't put any band photos. So that's how you fucking handle that. If you don't have the death metal spirit, or that's fucking surely, or you don't own fucking shirts because you're probably a fucking poser, that's how you handle that goddamn shit. Next thing, goddamn line. For the same type of fucking fan base, not saying it sounds like Pharmacist because it's not anything like it, but this was a classic of the early 2000s. I remember this band was, they moved here. I don't even know what the official full story is why they moved here from France. This is the band Morgue. And they lived in Baxter's shop, Extreme Music, for, I don't know, a year, a few months. There was a falling out between them and Baxter. I didn't even get the girl details and kind of don't care. But then they all moved back, except I think Cougar still lives here, and I see him from time to time. Does he remember me? I highly fucking doubt it. He sees me at shows and shit, doesn't say shit. But, I mean, to his defense, I don't expect him to remember who the fuck I am because this was in, you figure 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around that area. So, I mean, I'm 16, 17 years old. I look drastically fucking different. I mean, this is literally over 20 years ago. So, yeah, so the fact that he doesn't recognize me or remember, like, I wasn't nobody goddamn special, so why the fuck would he remember? But I set this up through Max. Max contacted me. I think it was because of the YouTube channel. I think I brought up Morgue. Maybe I showed my Morgue CDs, just the Art Gore, and then there was Bone Crunch EP. After that, they kind of totally changed their logo, and I didn't really like it, to be honest. But this was their first full length. It was initially put out on Brian Baxter's label, Ablated Records, and that is Art Gore. So never been on vinyl ever before. CDs came out last year through us, or repress of the CDs, so CDs do exist. Obviously, on Ablated in the early 2000s, but never on vinyl. So it's officially out. One of the classics back on vinyl. Always like that cover art too, goddammit. It's the same artist, I'm assuming, of like Leviticity, Fetish for the Sick, and shit like that. Insert. And it's got, a bunch of cool photos and shit, which, I think the band provided them. I think Max provided these. But yeah, so the guys were Max, Fred. So I remember JM, they called him Jean Marchel. That says JM Martler drums. I remember him. He used to. I actually have my photo with him too. I have it with him and Immolation and Cyril Blandino. I don't remember if I remember him. I don't. Which guy's fucking Cougar then? I think Fred. It was really why the fuck they called him Cougar. I guess that's some goddamn code name. Who knows? But anyways, it says it's recorded in 1999. This was if you like brutal shit, this is one of the when I talk about late 90s, early 2000s, just really brutal shit. This was another one. This was another one that was just early on in that time frame. And then shortly after is when the genre just got really fucking stupid. Not saying I don't like anything from the genre after 2005 or so, but it was becoming very, very, very fucking few. But from around 1997, about 2002, 2003 at the latest, most of the shit that came out during that time I thought was pretty damn good, was pretty damn original from that genre. You know, the Disgorges, the Waco Jesus, fucking Skinless, Lividity, you know, all those bands, Regurgitation, most of the stuff that was coming out, Mortal Decay, it was Malignancy, just Morgue. It was good shit, and most of the bands had their own distinguishable sound slash character. Then yeah, when you hit like 2005 and shit, it was just all the. Not only would it be kind of like rehashed, like, oh, this again, but even more so than that, the bands weren't writing songs. They're all just trying to be super extreme, like take the bar up even another notch. I'm like, okay, yes, these songs are extreme, but I was like, the songs all sound the same. So it's like, that's not going to work. You got to have it, keep it extreme. Like, for example, like I said, listen to the first two Last Days of Humanity. They're very extreme, but I was like, the songs are distinguishable. Like, either they're catchy, they're memorable. It wasn't just a monotonous fucking wall of bullshit. That's where that genre went to. But there would be a fucking gem here and there. Heinous Killings was one of them, and I was super late to the game. That was what, 2006 or so. That's a good album of that genre, but they were becoming few and far in between. So, if you don't know Morgue and you like the brutal shit, I highly recommend checking out Morgue. That was 100% DAWG signing. Grew up on it as a little boy, goddamn it, and proud to say that we're the ones that did it on vinyl. Never been on vinyl before. In case you happen to give a fuck. Anyways, first question of lines from goddamn order of today on February 22nd, 2023, answering this. From Michael Shaw. J-Dog, this is Mike Violet. So all you guys you see in the comments, Mike Violet, I know you see him because I sure as fuck do. Request for the channel. Please check out the Action Boys. Don't even know what that is. They do hilarious reviews of classic action movies. I believe it would be right up your alley. If possible, listen to an episode or at least a clip or two off YouTube and let us devils know what you think. When you type it in, yes, they do spell it with a Z. So Action Boys with a Z. Also, two of the three guys that do the audio videos are legit gym rats, and they throw in a little funny fitness bits, and they're only gym people will get. Yeah, there's a lot of shit to make fun of on that. That's for goddamn sure. Fucking every day in the gym, I see some fucking dumbass canoe doing something stupid as fuck. Or just straight up, what the fuck you doing here? What cracks me up in the recent years lately is the fucking fat chicks walking around in literally sports bras and like fucking just tights. And I'm like, hey, if you got it, I got nothing wrong with you wearing those clothes. But I'm like, there's ones I'm like, dude, you got no fucking business wearing that. I mean, like you're literally making fun of yourself. You may as well just be like the old saying, just wear the goddamn sign on the back of yourself. Kick me. Like you're just completely like, why would you even think that you? Why would you even think you fucking fit the bill to wear those goddamn clothing? Like I'm not talking like, oh, J-Dog's fucking silly ass bodybuilding mentality. They're not ripped. No, I mean they're straight up fucking. I'm talking about chicks that are 200 pounds, 180, 200 pounds. Like, what are you doing? And I'm not fat shaming or making fun of them. Not saying that, but cover up. Like, what are you fucking doing? Like, like that. You're making fun of yourself. That's the biggest one. You see it all. It's very common now. It was when I started going to the gym, fucking, where am I going now? Goddamn 17 years? 21? 22? I think it was 21. So 17 years now? That shit didn't exist. The only chicks that wore that, which wasn't even common for any chicks to be walking around in sports bras in the middle of the fucking gym. You'd occasionally see it, but it was only smoking hot chicks. You didn't see some fucking fatty walking around with that shit. Fuck you doing? Put a t-shirt on, brah, brah. Next one, Ian McLaughlin. Question for Justin. What's your opinion on porno grinds such as cock and ball torture, gut, Torso Fuck, and Romper Romp. I personally can't stand the toilet vocals and juvenile lyrics that sound like they came from somebody that hasn't graduated the third grade. So the only band I do like from the ones you mentioned is Cock and Ball Torture. Pretty much first two albums, but the O Pussy V or whatever, which I think is the first album, couldn't be the second. That's that one, and the split with Disgorge Mexico was good. They were a band I liked them because their songs were really fucking catchy, but majority of that Porno Grind shit was just complete fucking garbage. Like, wasn't Gore Beyond Necropsy one of them? For most part, I just thought it was complete unlistenable garbage. But Cock and Ball Torture, they were another band. I remember when they first came out, Baxter was all about them. CBT's brutal, brah. Like, if you didn't like them, you were just looked at like you were a fucking idiot. I didn't like them to that degree. I did like them and enjoy them. But it got to the point where it's like, that's why I think they even have a third album, which I never even listened to. It got to the point I don't need 20 albums like this. Just like I said, I don't need 20 Broadway albums. I don't need 20 Malignancy albums. You know, most of the bands of that style, you just don't, because again, it starts to blur together. But what was annoying about CBT is, again, once you started hitting 2003 up, there was a lot of clone bands, a bunch of wannabes that wanted to sound like, look, guys, call it like the fuck is. I didn't even need 10 albums by CBT. Nonetheless, 10 additional fucking bands. Because again, it's not like it's 10 bands that sound like Slayer, but you could just, that's a more distinguishable style of music. I know some guys that are die hard on whatever they're die hard on, whether it be the brutal shit, black metal, some of the extreme music, they don't want to admit it, that it's like, dude, this isn't like, you don't need a fucking boatload of this shit. It's all going to blur together. There's only certain stuff you can pull off to where it's like, if you got 20 bands like this, as long as they write good songs, it's not that big of a deal. You can only do so much with the CBT style stuff. So it seemed like the three biggest offenders, might be forgetting somebody. Like I said, once you hit that 2003 mark where I stopped paying attention to brutal shit, the three bands it was getting the most annoying, like, oh, great, another one of these. It was CBT, Disgorge California, and Devourment. I was like, I don't need another one of any of those three goddamn bands. It was just one after another, oh, wow, CBT, wow, Devourment, wow, Disgorge California, 50th time. Don't need it. There's a bunch of those. All the other bands you mentioned, yeah, not my thing. Just leave it at that. Anyways, next video on Goddamn Line, get a few questions off it. I scrolled to the first one. Theoretically, just pop right on up. None slaughter past members who don't fit the bill. What's up with that, J-Dog? 3 weeks ago, goddammit. Lady Lover 90, all the way to the very bottom. Question marks. Question, wasn't it Jim who said that after hearing Pete Sandoval drumming on World Downfall, he would no longer bother trying to get better by practicing because he would never be better than him? Question marks, doesn't that make him a musician poser? You know what's funny about you saying that? Because yes, Jim did say that. He literally said it to me, and I think Eric and Chase were standing there too. I either, like how you're bringing it up, I wonder, and I have no idea what the answer is, if, because I've told that story a few times to other people, and I think I brought it up on Hellcast, that if it just made its way around and around, that it got its way to you, or if Jim himself, which wouldn't shock me too much because he was kind of famous for telling the same story over and over and over again, well, especially a lot of the same jokes, if he said it to somebody else as well. Because I remember when he said it to me, I was probably like 16, definitely not even 18 yet. I remember it was at the I even remember what club. I don't remember what show. It was at the Fantasy. The one with the goddamn boat up. You go upstairs, the boat. All the Cleveland guys know. If that's the club, I think that's Fantasy. It was at that. I mean, Jim saying that, I just thought it was funny. That doesn't make him a fucking poet. That's just Jim talking out of his ass, which was 90% of the shit he would say, talking out of his fucking ass. Just because he was a kind of a goofster and he quick on his toes and just being funny. He definitely, whether he liked to admit it or not, which I never put him on the spot and asked him, he liked to make people laugh. He may deny it, and kind of what he was. Maybe it was just a macho thing, a man thing, like, no, I don't like to do this or that, but it was very obvious that he did. But he, without a doubt, liked to make people laugh. Again, I don't know if he would admit that or not, because I never asked him, but it's extremely obvious that he did. And he was good at making people laugh, including me. So that's just him just talking shit. Kind of like I do on here. I just babble shit off. That's why when people some of the people putting the comments or get offended stuff. I'm just laughing because number one, when people get offended by a lot of stuff I say, it definitely goes to show me it's like, dude, you realize we make fun of the weak society and how wimpy society is today and just all the pussies of today. It's like, that's you. That's you that's getting all offended. Because number one, I'm not even taking this shit seriously. I'm just saying it just to poke fun again, kind of like the Kanye thing, just busting balls talking shit. And you're getting all offended over it. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. Just talking shit, just because it's fucking funny. Why not? Entertainer for the goddamn channel, for the fucking Daily Devils, right? And then on top of that, it really fucking shows the true faces. Who's the wimps? Who's not the wimps? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you get offended by anything I say on this channel, you're in the wimp crowd, brah brah. No, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Yep, afraid so, brah brah. Spurger Kane, question marks, J-Dog, any thoughts on death metal band? Drag Car? Never even heard of them. So no thoughts on them whatsoever. Sewer Vomit, question J-Dog, have you seen a band live that screwed up so bad they had to restart the song? Story time? I know I have, but I can't think of who. I want to say Nunslaughter did at least once or twice. But yeah, I can't think of, I think Nunslaughter, but I know I have seen it, but I can't think of who. Like, I've never seen Cannibal or anybody. Like, big boys, like Immolation, Cannibal, Emu Borg, or anything like that. Have I ever seen them? No. Professional acts. Matt Cavazos, J-Dog, question marks. What record have you ever had to rebuy due to getting damaged or something? I don't think any, actually. I want to say something was missing once or twice. Had to rebuy. But nothing like, oh shit, I spilled coffee on it, I had to rebuy it. I don't think that's ever happened, to be honest with you. Theogonia 1983. Question J-Dog. Do you think regional styles matter anymore in the underground? Back in the day, New York death metal was different from Florida death metal. Bay Area thrash sounded different from New York thrash, etc. Do regions matter anymore as far as shipping scenes? I mean, shaping scenes, in your opinion? Still, there's some truth to that, yeah, because you can kind of tell what's, something that's from Norway or Finnish. It seems to have a certain feel. Um, Australia as well. A lot of times has a certain sound or touch to it. Chile is another one. It's a lot of times very obvious. Not everything, of course. I mean, just like Sweden. When Deranged came from there, did I know that was from fucking Sweden? Fuck, like if you didn't list just by hearing the size, it doesn't sound like just member and Jim Carnage. So if you never someone to say tell me where it was, I would have never guessed. Oh, they're from fucking Sweden. I probably would have guessed New York or something. You know what I mean? Because it's more brutal shit. So, and yeah, because since shit's all been done a million times and people have access to everything just via the internet, it could be some 16-year-old from Sweden and he's getting into goddamn whatever, Brazilian metal. He wants to play that. So you're definitely going to have a little bit more. It doesn't hold as true today, but it still has some relevance to date, just not as much as 20 years ago. But what is it exactly the same as it was 20 years ago? A lot of things have changed, right? Andy Barker, J-Dog, can I send you a mixtape of bands? Preferred you didn't because I don't have a tape player. If you're going to send anything, send it on a CDR. Also, does J-Dog like the hardcore band Terror? Talk about Stage Banner. They have video dedicated to all the funny shit the singer says. The only Terror I know is the Cleveland band. And do I like them? The first couple demos were good. I'll tell you a Terror story. So Cleveland thrash band from the 80s. And I didn't hear their stuff was I don't want to get into that. Their stuff is unavailable. Let's just say that. I mean, it's available now. I know, like, it's come out here and there, but at the time it was unavailable. It kind of still is. I mean, because everything's not been out. But anyways, I was talking to Kanye, and I was at his house. We were talking about Terror shit like that. And I just seen them do a reunion show in the early 2000s. Everybody always in the Cleveland scene was talking about Terror because they're kind of, Cleveland legends, I guess. One of the forefronts, which is, whatever, cool. And so I talked to Kanye. He said, "Yeah." I was like, "I've never actually got to hear him." I mean, I was like, I saw him live and I saw that, but I was like, I never got to hear him on audio. Oh, never heard of you? Oh, yeah, I'll give you. I was like, "Oh, you have something to listen to?" Yep, dude. He grabs it. I'm not even exaggerating. It was a stack of CDR burns, those little slim line plastic cases, like the really, really thin ones that are usually colored. He hands me a stack, no exaggeration, literally this fucking tall. I'm like, what the fuck? It was literally every demo, every rehearsal, and I don't know about every live show they played, but tons of live shows. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Just give me one or two demos. I don't even know if I went through and listened to all of it, but what I recall is I liked the first demo for sure, because there was like fucking, don't call me up for like one of the bands members was like, we don't have 5 demos, whatever the fuck it was more than one. And again, some of it was rehearsals and shit like that. I remember some of the, as it went out later on, I was like, I don't really like it. But I do remember liking the first goddamn demo. So that was kind of it. See if there's one more goddamn quickie on here. We're calling it a fucking vid. What is with ages Raymond J Dog fills the bill yet again? You do, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's joking around. You do know it's fit the bill, right? I think he does. I think he's just fucking around. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Wait, there's the last one from Jordan Sally. Question: what made you want to start working out, and what benefits has it given you as a person and just your life in general? Fuck, actually, I probably shouldn't have fucking. Yeah, this can be drawn out, but I'll try to make it quick. It gave me a lot of self confidence and helps me endure negative things. It has also changed my mindset in a more positive way. Yeah, it'll definitely do that if you stick with it. What got me into wanting to do it is I've always just liked the look. Ever since I was a kid, I always looked at I always liked Arnold in movies. I knew nothing about bodybuilding, knew nothing about how to build muscle, anything, nutrition, training, nothing. I just knew it looked fucking cool, and I knew well, obviously he lifts weights, but I just leave it at that. Um, and as a kid too, I always liked the character of the Ultimate Warrior. Again, I was kind of into wrestling, but not big into it. I wasn't like one of those kids that were like, I'm going to be a wrestler when I grow up, or jumping off my fucking couch, that type of shit. It wasn't like I was some huge fan. I did have some of the toys and shit like that as a kid. It's like I guess I was kind of a fan, watched it, but I specifically really liked the Ultimate Warrior because he looked really cool fucking physique. And then when I finally quit Dupli Systems, like let me start trying to work out as like I always wanted to. I just never had, I guess, the time to do it and didn't know what to do. Because when I was already in high school and shit, in middle school, high school, at age 13, whatever the fuck that is, I think that's ninth grade or whatever, I was already working, had a job. So going to school all day and then the evenings working. And I told you by age 16, I was literally working 7 days a week on top of going to school 5 days a week. There was no downtime for fucking nothing. And then in that time frame too, you're starting up hells. So working full time, then by the time I graduated high school, I'm having a full time job plus doing hells. I mean, so it was like there was no time for nothing. So now when I finally decided to do, when I was able to come on hells full time, I was how old was I? I was 22 years old when I started doing hells full time. Chase was the first one to start doing hells full time the year before, I think, and then I came on second. And I had a little bit, I wouldn't say extra time because from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, did that, but a little bit more leeway. I didn't have to punch a clock and be there. So I started off really small, just working out in my bedroom, push ups, sit ups, body squats, some dumbbell curls, shoulder press, and not knowing anything. Like if you would ask me to even have a bench, like if you'd ask me, what does a bench press work? I'd be like, I don't know, your fucking arms. I thought like doing seated, like just sitting on the fucking floor doing, shoulder presses like I thought with the dumbbells, I thought that was working arms. I didn't fucking know. Didn't know fuck all nothing. So just went from there, and then just reading up, and it just became more and more interesting to me. And then I stumbled across it was on YouTube, early 2000s. So if I started working out when I was like 21, 22, sort of quit. Yeah, so around that time, you figure that was 2006, 2007. So you figure about 2008 is when about a year later, a YouTuber still I had stumbled across Kevin Leveroni, and then that's when I really became intrigued, and I was like, "Fuck, you can look like that," and that's kind of what got me interested, and just stuck with it, kind of like metal. How do you know what I mean? First heard it, you heard Sacred Reich, then it went to Cannibal Corpse. You're just intrigued, want to go further and further and further, and just like, but yeah, it's definitely, it has changed my view in a lot of things for sure, and it definitely will. And it's just at this point, it's just my hobby. It's an activity that I like doing. People like some people the people that don't know they don't get it. Like, why would you want to do this? And then you're gonna have arthritis and shit like that. It's kind of like this is what I enjoy doing. It's like what else? So here's the idea, here's the alternative. What should I do? Quit doing and just be miserable and depressed and hate my life? It's like even if like let's just say theoretically it's taking years off my life doing it. It's like okay, well, personally, I'd rather die at 70 years old and be happy doing what I do in life than live to be 100 years old and be miserable. Because a lot of people like that, like some of these longevity people and stuff, I see their life like, I don't do this and I don't go here and I don't eat this and I'm stay away from this. I'm like, okay, dude, sure, you're not living your life. Your life completely fucking sucks. Let's say you make it to 100 years old. Okay, 100 miserable years. To me, if I'm living that lifestyle, get me the fuck out of here as quickly as possible. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, great, let's do whatever you like. Let's fucking do lines of coke, shooting heroin, just like that. You can't be a reckless dumbass. I don't want to die tomorrow either. And I don't want to just be a complete degenerate. So you gotta, you gotta have your big boy, big girl responsibilities of doing the shit you don't want to do, your day to day, plus the stuff that you like. It's balance. We hear on balance in life. So, and then whatever age I kick the bucket at because of it, and so fucking be it. But I'm not going to live some lifestyle and quit something that I enjoy doing just because, hey, maybe you'll live a few extra years. Well, okay, for what? And now I'm living, I don't even enjoy with being on this fucking planet. So if I don't enjoy it, just get me the hell out of here as quickly as goddamn possible. I'm not one here. I want to be here as long as possible to see where the world's going. I don't need enough. I do know where it's going. It's only getting shittier and shittier. I don't need to be here to fucking find out. Quite frankly, I prefer to be fucking clocked out, long gone before it really fucking before it's complete dog shit. It ain't that far away from complete dog shit. So sooner I'm away from it, the better. That's the way I got to see it. Comments, questions, you know, do. Put the comments, get an answer by the morning. Later, goddamn it.